Hello everyone, my name is Constantine with Ion Photography, and today I'm going to tell you exactly what you need to get started as a macro photographer. So stay tuned. Hello everyone and welcome to my very first YouTube video. My name is Constantine and I have a passion for macro photography and want to share that passion with you. I like to make little things a very big deal. A lot of people have asked the question about what it takes to become a macro photographer. Well, like any photographic genre, it does require some financial investment. But I always encourage people to start where they are. You can get started in macro photography very simply with a point-and-shoot camera. A lot of these point-and-shoot cameras have a macro mode, usually indicated by a little flower icon on the dial or on the menu system. And they provide a method to get started. I encourage people to start somewhere, and this is a very good way to do so. Now, a lot of point-and-shoot cameras don't have a lot of the advanced features, the ability to use an external flash or a lot of the real fine focusing distance that you might want in a macro system, but it does provide a way to get started. And if you don't have a lot of money to invest, it's a very good choice. Now, if you do have the money to invest, then I do recommend a digital SLR system where you can change out lenses and do different things with it, particularly if you can get a dedicated macro lens. If you already have a digital SLR and are looking at a macro lens, I'm going to cover that in my next video in great detail. But if you can't afford a macro lens right now, they start anywhere from about $500 and up, and I'm talking Canadian because I'm in Canada. It's not necessarily a cheap investment, but what you can do to get started is get some extension tubes. These were $45 off of Amazon. That worked very nicely. They can attach to any lens that you might currently have. If you have a kit lens that came with your DSLR system, they're a very good way to get started. They will give you the extra focusing distance that you need and will provide that extra magnification for decent macro photography shots. If you can invest and have the money to do so in a decent macro lens, I do recommend getting a dedicated macro lens. You will get greater ability and greater detail off some lenses. And additionally, you can attach your extension tubes to your lens system for even greater magnification and detail. So it's a very, very good way to do so. Also, if you have a digital SLR system, I do recommend investing in some external flashes. These are the Nyong'o 560 speedlights, and they work with my Canon digital SLR quite nicely. And I just invest in a wireless trigger so that I can keep them off camera and light my subject quite nicely. Or I can also use them on camera and get closer to light my subject. That is one thing with macro photography. Lighting becomes very, very important. It can be sometimes be very difficult to light a subject that is, millimeters in size, depending on what you like to photograph. This being my very first YouTube video, there's a lot that I'm learning as I go. Please bear with me. Click subscribe, click like if you like the content of this video. Please comment below on the kinds of things that you'd like to see. Some of the things I do have planned are taking you through some lens setups and what you can expect there. Lighting setups. I also built a macro lighting frame, which I will take you through in another video. And then also some procedures and whatnot, and take you through a full shoot and edit of some macro content, and hopefully everyone can learn as we go along here. Additionally, part of why I've become rejuvenated as a macro photographer, there are a couple other photographers here on YouTube that are tremendous. I encourage you to follow them as well. Lee Hall, who does a lot of tremendous studio macro photography with dandelion clocks and water drops and various things, just using household items around to shoot when everyone's locked indoors. Additionally, Steward is another photographer out of the UK that does a lot of the same stuff. Plus, he also likes to photograph jumping spiders and other insects, and he does some tremendous work. So I encourage you to follow them. I will put links to their profiles down in the description below. Until next time, my name is Carl Constantine, and I like to make little things a very big deal.